Speaking in front of the camera is definitely not easy. Here's a couple tips that I have for you so you can gain some confidence in front of the camera. Let's dive in. So I'll be honest with you guys, speaking in front of the camera, or really speaking in public, is never easy, and you never really quite get used to it. But along the way, you kind of learn some tricks to get a little bit more comfortable in front of the camera. Now, it doesn't matter if you're a YouTuber or you're shooting maybe an interview and you're trying to get your subject a little bit more comfortable in front of the camera. Learning how to speak in public or to a camera or to an audience is a very desirable trait in the real world. The first tip that I have for you guys is practice makes perfect. The more that you do it, the more comfortable you're going to get. Remember to talk to the lens and not to the screen. You want to talk to your audience. You want to make sure you're engaged with your audience. Now, in an interview setting, you could look away from the lens and talk to the interviewer. That's a style decision. But generally speaking, in a video like this, a how-to video, a YouTube video, I want to engage with the audience, so I should be looking directly into the lens. Now, going back to interviews for a second, I've shot a lot of interviews, corporate interviews, commercial interviews, whatever, you name it. And there's always two types of people. There's the guy that feels comfortable and will talk to the camera or to the interviewer like they're long lost friends. And you'll see that charisma oozing into the camera, oozing into the footage. And it's a beautiful thing. And then you'll get the shy person that is reserved but has to do it. And what usually happens is they'll start off shy and then they'll gain more confidence as the interview continues on. And by the time you're halfway through the interview, they look like a completely different person, and chances are you're probably going to have to reshoot the beginning stuff. And that's a great thing. It's really fun to watch somebody gaining confidence as they're doing it. And that goes back to practice makes perfect. It might be their first time in front of a camera. So naturally, they're going to get better and better as the interview goes on. Another thing to consider is private settings versus public settings. In the privacy of my studio, I tend to be more confident. But when I'm out in public, especially if I'm vlogging, I tend to lose some of that confidence. Now, vlogging is your thing, and I only just started vlogging. I think I released my first vlogging video like a couple weeks ago. Check that out. I was really nervous. But if vlogging is your thing, obviously having a discrete camera will work to your advantage. I'm shooting on my Sony a7S III. It's not a huge camera, it's not a cinema camera, but it's also not the smallest camera I could have. And this is a lot more obvious when you're in public. But if I'm vlogging with my Insta360X3, that's a lot smaller and more discreet. So having that smaller and less discreet camera brings less attention to yourself, which gives you a boost of confidence. An important thing to remember when you're vlogging, doing interviews, whatever, make sure you get good audio. So choose the correct mic. If you're vlogging, you can use a shotgun mic that's attached directly on top of your camera, or a lavalier mic. If you guys noticed the intro, I was further away from the camera. So I chose to use a lavalier mic today. I'm using the Hollyland mic, the Lark Max. And if you're interested in a review on the Hollyland versus DJI versus Rode, I have a video on that, check that out. But using a lavalier mic gives me the flexibility to move around and talk to the camera in a unique way, gaining more confidence and giving the viewer the sense that I have a lot of confidence when I really don't. If you're shooting a professional interview, you might want to use a shotgun or a boom mic or a small condenser mic, whatever it is that you're doing, but make sure you have good audio, even if you're vlogging. And that's actually one of the mistakes I made. I decided to use the onboard mic with the Insta360, and I should have just used the lavalier. That would have definitely boosted my vlog a little bit more and gave my viewers more reason to engage. Also, the thing with lavalier mics, you don't have to be loud. You don't have to talk loudly and bring attention to yourself. They're right there, clipped on right next to you. So you could talk really low if you're shy at first, boost the levels up in post, and kind of give that false sense of confidence. But also, if you know you're going to be in a public setting like a grocery store or an amusement park or a library, don't do that, but you can use a lavalier mic and still get great audio without having to talk really loud and bring a lot of attention to yourself. Now, a quick note on vlogging in public. Respect people's privacy. You need to respect other people's personal space. Don't be a douche. Don't be those TikTokers or influencers or content creators that are purposely messing with people in public and invading their personal space. Now use your best judgment. You can't always vlog in public or shoot content in public and completely avoid anybody else, right? Sometimes people are going to be in the background. Sometimes you'll include people in your videos, but make sure you always ask. And if you are in a public setting, that's public property. And if you have the right permits, sometimes you need permits to shoot in public. Just make sure the people in the background, they're in the background, but you don't necessarily have to focus the camera on them. If you can frame your camera to avoid most of that, then do it. And of course, if they're going to be in the film, ask for their consent. I have a vlog that I'm planning for my second channel, my cooking channel, where I'm gonna cook up some food. And I'm actually going to get some food from my butcher. And I asked him if he wanted to be in the video. And he ended up wanting to be in the video. And we even had a segment where we asked him some questions. And that's perfectly fine, but just make sure you respect people's privacy. And the last advice that I have for you is, it's okay if you suck. It's okay to make mistakes. You'll get better. Trust me. Keep at it, keep practicing, get comfortable, and you can always edit some mistakes out in post. That's it for me, guys. I hope you found this video informative, and I will catch you on the next one. Take care, everybody.